guys, this is Dr. Ndidi Ihim, and today we're going to be talking about getting to know me. I have a whole lot of new subscribers, so this is a video just for you. Stay tuned. Okay guys, welcome back. So I really started focusing on my YouTube channel earlier this year, and so far we've grown to 13,000 plus, and so I wanted to come on here and just introduce myself to everybody so we could get to know each other. Put it down below in the comments. I also want to get to know you, so just let me know what's your name, where you're watching this from, wherever you are in any part of the world. I would love to know. So I have a list of questions here, but essentially my channel is to focus on health and wellness and building a legacy and all of that. Anything that has to do with me is pretty much what this channel is gonna be focusing on. Very heavy on the health part though. So we're just gonna begin, okay? So first of all, where does my name originate from? Ndidi. It's very different. A lot of people haven't heard it from anywhere before, but Ndidi is a Nigerian name and it actually means patience. It has its origins in the Igbo tribe and it just means patience. That's it. Very easy. Full stop. So funny story is my family, we migrated to the United States when I was 16. At the point of entry, there was a lady there and they had to stamp your passport when you're coming into the country. And she asked me a very interesting question. And I think that kind of defined me in like how I wanted to show up here, starting a new life, new country, people I don't know. And she said, would you like to use your middle name as your first name? Because I could change it right here, right now. My middle name is Cynthia. In my head, I'm like, I was a little bit offended because I'm like, what are you trying to say? But I'm like, no, I want to keep my name. I love that it points me in a direction. It always opens up a conversation. Where are you from? Where's that name from? And, you know, I can, you know, describe myself. And also it was just a name that all my friends knew me as. I was leaving behind the friends that I grew up with, every family, just coming here with, of course, my nuclear family. So I wanted to leave that name so that wherever I go, or whatever I became later on in life, people would always remember that name and be like, I think I know this person, and maybe do a little bit of research. I'll be like, oh yeah, she's the one. So that's, I decided to keep my name. Me and my siblings, we all kept our name the way, you know, we all have Nigerian first names. So we just left it like that. Essentially, my little story and coming to America story. So that's very funny when I think of it these days. And then Ihim is, I'm actually married, so that's my husband's last name is also Igbo. So that's essentially where my names come from. And the other question is, how many siblings do I have? I have two other siblings. I have a brother and a sister. I'm the middle child. So I have a younger brother and an older sister. I love my family. When we came, like I mentioned, there was a little bit of a coming of, and it wasn't like the coming to America. That's a story for a whole nother day. Because the imagination we had was not what we got. And it was the extended version of like the Coming to America that you watched that wasn't really great. But you know, that just molded all of us to be, I guess, what we are today, and much more independent and not dependent on anybody for anything. Just finding your own way, because the things you hope for might just crash. The other questions I got is, what is the first thing you notice about people? Wow, okay. When I see someone, the first thing I notice about them is how they make me feel. So I'm more like, I'm checking out the person mentally, like, do they look at me a certain way? Do they understand what I'm trying to explain? Like the things that they're responding back to me, how are they taking that? I could tell if you're genuine. First of all, it's the way someone looks at me. So I'm like studying more body gestures, I guess. For me, it's the eyes. And if what you're saying is not matching up with your body gestures, then I know you're not like a true person. I know you're finicky and I don't build a friendship with that person. It just ends there in that conversation. And sometimes, you know, especially when you're running a business, that might not be too great, because in business, you just have to be open and talk to everybody. But when it comes to like building a friendship, once I notice that about that person in that first few seconds, and I'm always right most of the time, I don't pursue a friendship. And if I happen to somehow pursue a friendship, I wouldn't be the one that's looking for that friendship most of the time. I won't be the one that would be calling. I won't be the one that would be trying to do something with that person. I just naturally probably will let the friendship die. And that's just me. I used to have a good friend of mine, and they had another good friend of theirs, and I could tell that person was so like anxious to like be close to me, and I didn't like that because I could tell they weren't like the person they classified as their best friend. They would gossip about that person to me. I don't know if it was like to win favor with me, like, oh, I want to be your friend because I don't have that other person as my friend anymore. Like, I didn't get it, and it wasn't sincere. And then when they were in front of that person, they would smile and laugh, and I'm like, oh, if you do that to that person that's supposed to be your best friend, I can't even tell what's gonna happen with us. So I ended it, like, I didn't continue. And fast forward to a few years, I guess maybe when she saw she couldn't be friend to me or close or whatever, she went back to my good friend and started telling her mess that I said about her. And I gave her a job. I sent a client to her because they did some kind of event planning or whatever, and I didn't even know all this was going on in the background. So because of me, she was able to get, I'm sure they pay her very nice, but after that I was just like, you know what, my blessings come from above and from a different place. But this relationship, I'm not even gonna address it. I'm not gonna, bring it up. We're just gonna let it die. So that's how that happened. If they see me today, I'm just walking past like I never knew, because I feel that's better for my mental health. I don't like people that are not genuine. Like, if you don't like me, like, let it be known, like, just separate. Don't even try to come close. So that's the thing with that. I can't do jealous people. Okay, so what are your favorite values in friends? Wow, a lot of friend questions. Favorite value. My loyalty is very high. So before I give it to somebody, you must have like shown yourself out to where I'm like, damn, this person did this for me. Okay, because I don't really let a lot of people in. So if I do let you in and I see you doing things above and beyond without me even having to tell you something, oh my goodness, I love that so much. I appreciate it in that person. And that's kind of like, then I give myself like, okay, this is real. You're not waiting for me to do something or seeing what you could gain from me, because I give a lot. Like, it's easy for me to give. Like, one time when I was younger, I gave my whole paycheck to a family member, right? They're having a hard time, and I was just like, you know what, God is telling me to do this. And of course then I was like, working what kind of job? Maybe the paycheck was like $300, $400, but I was like, you know what, here, I get my check away. And that's the kind of person I am. So for me to value something in somebody, I have to see that you have a high sense of like emotional intelligence, and like you would go above and beyond, because I would do that. I would do that for you all day. But some people only act when they see you do. And I already have the intention that I'm going to do it anyways, because that's just my natural trait, my natural character. So it won't be, too hard for me. But I've been burned a few times. So at this point in my life, I move with caution just to kind of see, what kind of person that person is. So right now, I don't make so much friends anymore just because of that. But if I do, it's because that person has shown themselves like, hey, I'm here for you. And I'm like, me and you see each other. All right, other question is, what time do I go to bed? I guess maybe this is because I'm also talking about wellness and health and sleeping. Honestly, as a mom right now, my kids, it takes them like about an hour to sleep from when I put them to bed. So by like 9:30-ish, 10, I'm ready. I'm like, we need to be sleeping because it's been a long day. I've been dealing with kids all day, or I've been running this business all day. I need to sleep. And if I'm even awake by like 11, my eyes are like burning. Like, I really need to sleep. And funny thing is, I'll wake up at 4 a.m. like nothing happened, or 5 a.m. and we, start the day. Who is your celebrity crush? Celebrity crush, honestly, it's always been Boris Kojo. Something about the eyebrows. Yeah. Boris Kojo. If you're listening, hi. I know he's married now. But like, yeah, Boris Kojo for me. What is your favorite holiday? I'll say it's Christmas. I'll have to say it's Christmas. Just because growing up, it was something that was like very celebrated growing up. Like I said, I'm Nigerian, so the position my dad used to be in, he had a lot of like people that would send gifts and animals, because in Nigeria, you have the animals, then they kill them and cook them. Like, it's different from America. So we had a lot of food and a lot of people coming by the house, and we're like entertaining. Like, that's what my house was. My house was like an entertainment center. We had like visitors that would come in. Sometimes we had like 8 to 10 visitors, everybody just sitting down in different places in the living room, and they're all getting entertained. Like, that's how I grew up. I guess that's why I'm very like a little bit very like social butterfly right now. But that's how I grew up. And for me right now, it has converted to like me giving my kids something special. Like, I always tied into like, okay, the reason why we're celebrating Christmas, first of all, is religious, celebrating Christ, and whether there's an argument of the date, if that's really the date Jesus was born, argument, but we're honoring that at least Son of God came into the world physically during a certain time. But I always try to provide that environment, like a memory that my kids could grow up to have, just like I do right now. It's not going to be the same memory, but it will always have a memory like something special is happening and something special is going on in this period. And so that's what I always try to aim for. So yeah, Christmas right now. What is one thing you wish people knew about you? One thing I wish people knew about me is really honest. Like, if I tell you the sky is blue, the sky is really blue. And that's one thing that some people, it also shocks them, because when it's time to tell someone, like, draw boundaries, I'm quick to also draw boundaries. I don't let people come and like try to bust me around, because I'm like, I'm just like, no, you can't do that. And I'm saying it as it's happening. I wish people would know that it's more of like a protection measure of mine, to be honest, because I don't want to remember what lie I told you and build up from that. So honesty is very high for me, and then everything else follows. If it's me being very direct with you, if it's me not sugarcoating things, that is me. It's not coming from a place of malice, but it's more of like, just I want to be straight with you this one time, so I don't have to remember anything else that I make up. It's like, this is it, I'm straight like that. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers? Oh my goodness, I love Fumi the Saluvold. She has grown this amazing YouTube channel. She's also a fellow Nigerian, but she's well-traveled. Me and my kids, every time they hear her music, because she has this particular sound, and I put it in her comments one time, I love, love her, and my kids know her outro. So when you hear that sound, I'm like, man, this is what I aim to get to, and I love her. She has a show up every single day, and her channel covers everything live, what's going on, current events, and it's just having like some person you could talk to that understands what's going on, but also gives advice, and always brings it back to personal to teach you a lesson. So that's what I love about her channel. Do you prefer tea or coffee? Tea all day. Me and coffee don't have a great relationship, so tea for me. What sports do you play or did you play? Sports, I did not play any sports. Did I play any sports? No, I tried. I wasn't a good runner, basketball, but I mean, except for like things you do in PE, but like actually having like a sports team and like none of that, I did not. I tried to try cheerleading in high school, but sadly, like I was telling y'all, I'll talk about my story of coming to America. When during that period, it was a very toxic time in my household, so I couldn't be in any kind of sports per se, because it will be where if I don't catch the school bus, I'll be stranded in school for hours and hours and hours, and I didn't have friends. We just moved. I wasn't really great at making new friends, and yeah, I did not play any sports, so I don't have an answer for that. If dancing is a sport, I guess that would be my favorite sport. I love to dance, and that's how I stay active most times, dancing. Okay, next question. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time? I think that answer, it'll probably change from like the season I'm in. Right now, the favorite thing for me to do in my free time, like when I'm not taking care of kids or doing business or working, which is like very hard because it's like 24/7, your mind is always thinking about what can I do better, in my business, in my family. I would say it's really laying down, stretching out, and just watching movies or like funny comedy skits and laughing on social media. That would really be my downtime. If I could catch any kind of sleep, oh man, I'm in heaven. That is the old answer. I'm getting old. But essentially, if you caught me like maybe 20 years ago or 15 years ago, the answer will be different. But right now, in this season of my life, that is what I do in my free time. Where do you currently live? I'm in Texas. Been in Texas for 20 years, so I haven't left. Just visiting other places, but Texas is it for me. If you could leave anywhere, where would it be? Ooh, if I could leave anywhere, where will it be? I've only lived in two places, Texas and, back home in Nigeria. If everything was nice and equal, I'll be in Nigeria, honestly. That's all I gotta say. I've visited other places for vacation. I can't say how it is, because when you're on vacation, you're like La La Land, so everything looks nice and dreamy and stuff like that. So I don't know what I don't know, right? But I would say Nigeria. Like, I had no complaints growing up there. Who is your role model? Man, my role model. I would say, well, my dad is deceased now. It always used to be my dad. Right now, my role model is being the person I envision myself to be, and the goals that I try to attain, and what I imagine that person does in the success that I'm imagining. That is the role model I'm trying to pursue, and doing everything according to how God fulfills it. That is a role model that I have right now. Do you have any allergies? Yeah, I thought I was somebody that never had any allergies, but apparently I do. Every March for the last 5 years, I have severe itchy eyes. It has something to do with the pollens here in Houston. I guess that's when the flowers are coming out or pollinating or whatever. And as the years go by, it gets worse. Like last month, I had swollen eyes, like someone punched me in my 2 eyes because I was itching so badly. And my eyes started like acting up, and I think it even got infected at some point. So yeah. What social media platform do you use the most? Honestly, it's Instagram, but I'm beginning to learn YouTube. So more and more I try to come on here. What is your most memorable childhood memory? Ooh, my most memorable childhood memory. Man, I have a lot of them. I don't know if I could choose just one. So my dad was in the military, was in the army. He was an officer. And there are times where we use like a specific like military car, and it had the sirens and the flag and stuff like that. So every time there was traffic and I'm in the car with my dad, he would have his driver like turn on the sirens and the flag, like so that everything could be like woo. So it sounded like a police was behind you, so everybody would clear the traffic. And if you know anything about Lagos, Lagos has so much traffic. So whenever I'm in the car and that's happening, it was like an experience. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, okay, it felt like you're like the president's daughter. To me, that was very memorable. I love that. I mean, I have so many other memories, but that one particular thing, because I noticed it didn't happen for everybody. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's a little bit different over here. So that, especially now that my dad has passed, that for sure. But if I was to say another one is, we always used to have morning devotions in my house with my dad. And now he's passed, so now I just cherish those moments and, you know, try to pick the good things out of my childhood to see if I could implement it in my own household right now. But yeah, those two will be my most cherished memories. What is your spirit animal? Spirit animal. Ugh. Maybe I'll say like a lion mixed with a peacock. Because I'm very like, I move like, how would I put it? I'm very alpha in like, when I make decisions, when I'm trying to reach a goal, like I like to come in and like just whatever that means. And then peacock, because sometimes I could be very flamboyant. I'm self-confident. When everybody's kind of shy, that's where I shine the most, because I'm like, I used to grow up very shy, and at some point in my life I promised myself not to do that to myself anymore, to stop being shy, because I felt like a lot of things I was trying to say, either someone else said it before me, or I knew the answer and I could have just said it when I knew it to save somebody else. So at some point, maybe around the age of 14 or 15, I made the decision like, I'm gonna stop being shy and I'm gonna be very bold and courageous. It all had to do with like also moving here too. So I'll say those are my spirit animals. What is your best trait? Oh Lord, my best trait. Like physical trait? Best trait will be, I have very soft skin. I have very soft skin. So, I mean, other people like it. My kids like my skin because it's so soft. They put their hands and always trying to use it to sleep. My husband loves my soft skin, of course. And for me, I want to tone up. So the soft skin might be going away very soon. But I love like my hair, the way it grows like in the front. Like this is very vain. Like I told you, but like I like dressing up and then having to like, you know, fix my hair in the front. Like my hairline is very, very low. So there's a way I have to dress it up. And I feel like I discovered a secret when I'm doing that, because when I was younger, I used to get made fun of that. My hair used to grow into my eyelid. But now it's actually like my beauty point when I dress it up very nicely. I think so. So. And the last question is, did you go to college? Yes, I did. I went to Texas Southern University, whoop, whoop, here in Houston, Texas. and I went to pharmacy school. So I'm actually a pharmacist. I got a doctorate degree in pharmacy, hence the doctor in my name. And I did all of that 6-year program at Texas Southern University, TSU. It's a historically Black college, HBCU. And that was a lot of learning and things that happened there. A lot of my growth happened there. I was in different organizations where I led as president, all of them happening almost at the same time. So that was crazy. I guess that's why I'm like, I consider myself like a high functioning, like I can't stay still without doing anything. Like I have to be on the move, because that's just kind of how those 6 years in college were, that was how intense it was for me. Like I was trying to make sure I was doing well academically and also being a good leader in these different organizations. So learning how to do all of that at the same time was kind of what built me to how I moved today. So those are the get to know me questions. I don't know how many questions those were, but if y'all have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. If any of the things I said resonated with you, make sure you let me know. I love reading the comments. And also subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share this video so that YouTube will know that, hey, this channel exists. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.